schlabiger.
Hello, rockers, and happy Halloween. Here's Waldo. I guess you found me. What a great day to talk about early rock and roll. And if you don't know the history of rock and roll as drummers, it's important. And rock and roll probably started to peak in about the mid-50s. Early style of rock and roll, probably most important. Check out Little Richard, check out Chuck Berry, and check out Elvis Presley. That's a great place to start. But today, being Halloween, Monster Mash was a hit song released kind of as a spoof song in the early 60s. But a lot of the musicians on it at the time were, some of the best session musicians of the day. What I want to teach you drummers that have been playing for a little bit is this intro to Monster Mash, because it's kind of a cool groove. And what I want to point out first is if we can just narrow in on this drum beat. And remember, as we talk about in other lessons, it's important first to sing a beat. And if you can sing it, you can play it. And our drum language, we often use boom, tap, boom, tap. So if we were to look at this beat, we would go boom, tap, tap, boom, tap, boom, boom, tap. Now we have an eighth measure rest. So the next backbeat is coming on the and of 3 instead of beat 4. And then we have a boom, boom, tap, boom, tap, boom, boom, tap. And then we have this snare drum lick, da 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 da. So when you listen to this intro and then try and play along to it, very typical in early rock and roll was this boom, tap, tap, boom, tap, boom, tap, tap, boom, tap feel. But then this place beat in measure 2 makes the groove kind of interesting. So if I were to play it without the track and you were to see this groove, boom, tap, tap, boom, tap, boom, boom, tap, tap, boom, boom, tap, boom, tap, boom, boom, tap, da 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 da. Now, the purpose of this exercise is this groove, because once the song gets in, it's a great play along at 140 beats per minute. Boom, tap, boom, tap, boom, tap, tap, boom, tap. Kind of a straight rock and roll beat. But I would encourage you to play this 4-measure exercise over and over again. You'll find with repetition that the displacement of that beat, and with the snare drum and the kick drum giving it that extra boom, it makes this kind of a really cool groove. So you've probably been playing boom, tap, for a little bit. Boom, tap, boom, tap. Boom, tap, tap, boom, tap. Well, happy Halloween. Let's take it up a notch and play something a little more fun.